Well, hi everyone, or anyone, whoever's watching or watching the recording or watching live, wherever you are in the world, welcome. Just a stream today to look at some of the questions we've got in the community that I might try and answer. The last couple of weeks I've looked and there haven't actually been any questions I thought were, not that they weren't good questions, but just nothing I could really answer online and demonstrate or talk about. And today, of course, we've got so many of them that I could be here half the afternoon. So let's hope I don't do that. But I'm going to answer a whole bunch of questions. If you are watching live, just drop in and drop out as you want. Same thing if you're watching the recording as well. I'll put timestamps on the video so you can just click on YouTube and it'll take you to the right place for each question. So the first question I wanted to look at was all about converting shape to TIFF. It's a fairly straightforward question here, but the guy put new to FME, and I don't think he knows. I don't think you've used it that much. I can tell. So although Virtual City Matt's got a good answer there, I thought I'd sort of demonstrate how we do that and how rasterization of vector data works. So let's have a look at that. That's going to be my first one today. So we're trying to convert from shape to TIFF, in fact GeoTIFF, because they want to keep the geolocation. We can, didn't seem to have anything there to save, but whatever. We can create a workspace very straightforwardly. Let's see. I'm trying to find some shape data. I don't know that I've got much that's really that great. I mean, it's not a work of a couple of seconds just to convert it, but do we have anything in the planning? No, we've got GeoPackage. Actually, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to use that GeoPackage in the planning, but really the same thing would apply for shape. You just pick the shape file instead of the GeoPackage. And in this case, we're going to convert it to GeoTIFF. So I just type GeoTIFF as the format. And again, I mean, if you're used to FME, this is probably fairly straightforward stuff for you. I'm going to do an output folder. I'm going to create a new one just called demo. And that's the folder I'm going to write to. So we click OK, and it does create a workspace. Interesting. Doesn't seem to like that GeoPackage. I wonder what's wrong with that. Well, this puts a bit of a crimp in another otherwise finder plan. Let's see. What does it do? No, it really doesn't like that. Okay, well, I'm going to have to check into that, because let's hope that's not a 2022 issue. We don't want that. Well, okay, so I'll start again, and instead of using GeoPackage, I am going to use... Actually, I think I'm going to use a geodatabase. What I'm looking for is something with multiple layers in. And you won't find this in a shapefile, but what you can do is you can add multiple shapefiles. Community mapping. There we go. So yeah, so I set up the format. The reader is a geodatabase. Click OK. And we get to pick which layers we want to write out. Now it's added a separate layer to the output, which we probably don't need. We probably only need one output because we're only writing to one raster. So I'm going to select all of them apart from one and delete them. And yeah, I mean, we could run it here, but you won't get anything because we're not reading any raster data. So it should give us an error that says failed to obtain raster from feature. So in other words, the first feature out of there was not a raster feature and it couldn't write it. So that's the problem there. I'm just going to call this community on the output. So yeah, so you can't basically just write shape data or any data that's vector straight to a raster file. We need to use a transformer to handle that. And there are various transformers that will create raster. Let's see. I think rasterizer is the term we need to look for. So we've got ImageRasterizer, NumericRasterizer, and MapnikRasterizer. So just to start with a simple one, the ImageRasterizer says, well, let's take this data that's coming in and we'll create a raster of, I don't know, like 1,000 rows and 1,000 columns. It's going to be RGBA32. Now what's important when we do the ImageRasterizer is the input data's got to have a color attached to it. And I think we're seeing here that that's not the case. Bands with a color interpretation require an FME color attribute. So we need to have color. And you won't have that on a shape file because shape doesn't store color. So we're going to have to do something about that. So feature color setter is a transformer to use there. And I'm going to put it in the parks data there and say, well, let's do a fixed color. The fill color is going to be light green. And the pen color around the outside will make that a dark green. And we'll duplicate that. And what we've got here are point features for the food vendors, I think. And point features are going to be a little bit different, and I'll show you a way to deal with that. We'll make them red. And we'll set a fill color to red. Even though it's a point, you don't get a fill. So now we can run it. Now we've got a color. Now we can rasterize with that color. We get one feature out because that's our raster feature. And that gets written to this data set. And if I open up the folder, I'm hoping... Now what does this open with? Preview. Okay, there we go. You can see those points there. I can't see any parks though. I don't know what happened to the parks. Maybe the points overlaid it, and that could be an issue. So what we might have to do is, see, it can get very complicated very quickly once we start to do this. Let's confirm that. We'll just take the point features out of the equation and rerun that. Oh, we're only getting a point for the parks as well. That's interesting. Or maybe the resolution's just too small. No, that can't be right because we've got... Up here we've got Stanley Park, and that's pretty big. So maybe we just need to make these a bigger raster or smaller. That's interesting. Oh, they are. Oh, they're only parks features. Okay, well, the point features. Well, there you go. I thought they were area features. I'd like to get an area feature out of there. So let's take the garbage schedule instead and do that. Because I know they're polygons. It didn't occur to me because I've got the regular parks data set. And there we go. That's better. So yeah, so we got raster there. And if we have the points as well... Now what are we going to get? We are going to get those points. I don't know if they're going to overlap the park or not. That's the question, because we don't... I think it depends what comes in first. And so this is one of the things we have to consider about this, is for which set of features comes in first. And that's what we need to look at there when we're rasterizing data. And that can get pretty complicated pretty quickly, but you just need to make sure the order of these features is correct. And a sorter transformer would do that. So that's the ImageRasterizer. That creates as an image. The other one, just very quickly, we'll look at this one, was a NumericRasterizer. And that will give me a raster again, but it won't be a picture as such. It'll be based on a value. I think it's a Z value it takes. So instead of setting a color, I would need to set these as 3 dimensions with the 3D forcer. Oops. So I could say these are an elevation of 20, and let's see, these could be an elevation of, could be an attribute, so number of addresses in it. So that'll be interesting. Excuse me. What have we got there? So what comes out of that was this. Basically, that's a numeric, and it's colored the garbage zones, schedule zones, depending on the number of houses in it, because that's what I said. And this is very light in there because there's not many people in there, I guess, and there's more people in this black area, and so on. And so we get a, you get, it's numeric. It's not, if I query that raster feature and look in the feature information window, what am I looking at here? It's an FME raster, but there's only one band in there, band 0. And that's probably why Windows Preview didn't like it, because that can't handle non-graphic rasters. So those are the basic rasters we've got, but probably the better one, and the one that was recommended on the community by Matt, is the MapnikRasterizer. And that's a way better method, just a little bit more complicated, perhaps, should we say. Now, did these have colors on? Yeah, I think they had color on already, so I don't really need the color. Oh, no, that was a color setter. Oh, idiot. But they did have a color, I think. No, they didn't. Okay, so the MapnikRasterizer, let's connect that up there. That's our first input. And we're just going to call that parks. And the symbolizer, well, it's a, we can call it anything. We can say polygon. And we can set the style that we wanted in there. So we don't need to have a color, I guess. And we can say parks are this sort of olive green, just to make sure we see the difference. We can set the opacity, we can set smoothing, and all sorts of things like that. So it's more complicated, but you get more control over what's coming out. So if you just want to create something basic, then the ImageRasterizer is probably the way to go. But if you want something a bit more involved, you can do something like this. And you can see that we've got that mustard color now. We can add this. This doesn't go into the same port, it goes into the separate one, one further down. And the food vendors, so we'll call them food. And the symbolizer for that is a point feature. And we can do whatever we like with that. We can place a centroid. Funny, I thought it might give me a symbol or something. Maybe that's what shield is. Yeah, it can probably give me a little sort of marker there instead. So I'm just going to go with point right now anyway. And yeah, let's see what that does, because I've got a feeling that the food is going to be underneath the parks layer, underneath the garbage layer, because oh no, it's on top. There we go. I think it's the order in here that makes a difference. So if we put food up there and rerun that, I wonder if that comes out on the bottom now. Yeah, you can't see it now, so that's on top. So the layer that's further down in the list comes down on top. And that's how you get more control over which order things are in. And this makes it way easier to handle. What else have we got in here? I mean, just an example, we can just add a few more bits. Community centers, drinking fountains, libraries, accessible parking, we can add that. That again is a point. At least I believe it is. And now we've got a few more points in there. We should probably change the color so you can actually see. Do we get to set the color in here? That's interesting. Maybe I have to set the color to get something on there. So, for example, on here I could set it to green. Let's just keep it at that. I'm not seeing any green coming through, which is odd. Maybe I'm doing that wrong. But anyway, this is the basic way of doing this. It's got to be a way of setting the color, I should think. But one of the other things we could do with that, and I've done this before, is we can set an ellipse replacer. 2D ellipse replacer. And we can just say, okay, well, it's a point, but a point won't look too good on a raster. So let's just set it to an actual circle instead. And if we look at the output from that, you'll see that we're getting colored circles now. So when we look at the output, we should get those instead. Still not seeing them. Maybe that's going on a different layer or something. Oh, well, that'd be polygons this time. Dull, I think, is the... There we go. That's better. And yeah, we can... Okay, so it looks like it doesn't use the color that's coming in. So the feature color setters are pretty much useless at that point. Anyway, yeah, so that's basically how you can do things like that. What else can we do? Yeah, you can set smoothing, how do the different layers smooth and how are they composited over each other, and all sorts of advanced things like that, which I won't even pretend to understand. We can change the background color as well. So we could say, okay, let's make it a nice blue color in the background. I'm sure there was something else I meant to mention. Oh yeah, you can add existing rasters in here as well. You can do all sorts of things. Polygon pattern, let's say we want a pattern instead. I can pick an image file there, a PNG file, and that would work too. So yeah, that's pretty much a very quick rundown of how to rasterize data in FME. And there's articles on the MapnikRasterizer, I'm sure. So again, if you really just want plain and quick, then there's the ImageRasterizer. But if you want something that's got a bit more control over, then that's the MapnikRasterizer, and that's the one you want. So that answers that question, I think. Can I convert my shape to TIFF? Yep, and I used a different format, but really it's all the same thing. You just set the shapefile instead of the geodatabase that I used. Okay, what next? Oh, okay, yes, this was how do I build an interactive web page? And again, this seemed to me a fairly basic thing. Like I don't know if this is a new user, so I'm going to assume you're fairly new to FME. And maybe, I don't know, maybe new to creating web pages, I'm not sure. But, I mean, it's pretty straightforward to create a web page with a button on, and that button can definitely link to a workspace on FME Server. So, actually, this will be a good one to use because we can actually stream the results of this. So, if I save this workspace, what are we going to call it? Let's put it in the same folder that the output was. So we'll call it rasterdemo.fmw, and I'm going to open up my web browser, open up FME Server, which is called Blue Sky on a That's the name of our FME server. Now I've got to try and remember what my username is. And yes, I hate those systems where they make you change your password every like 6 months or something. It's just like, I can never remember it. Okay, so actually what I should do, of course, is publish this to FME server. And okay, so I've got to edit that on there because I think that's the old password. Authenticate that. You're connecting to an older version of server. I'm going to do it anyway just because I think it might work. Let's hope. And it was data streaming, but I'm going to leave job submitted published just so I can try that out. If things go wrong with the streaming, I can prove whether it's running or not. Okay, so now I'm back on server. There's my raster demo. It's a streaming workspace. So I'm just... Did I upload the data? There's a question. I don't think I did. I think I have to upload some data. Folders cannot be uploaded. Okay. So just to make that a little bit more complicated, we can't upload as a folder. So I'm going to zip that up because that works. And publish to server. Yes, I know it's an old one. Add files. Community map gdb.zip. I'm thinking that should still work. We will find out pretty soon. Let's run that. I mean, trust me to pick. Okay, so there's two possible reasons. Yeah, okay, couldn't find the geodatabase. Okay, so I'm going to have to go back to this. Yeah, trust me to pick a format I need to zip it up, but I guess shape would have been the same anyway, so it's not really an issue. It would have happened anyway. Let's just run that to make sure it works. Yeah, that's all good. Let's publish that. Yes, it's an older one. I should skip the warning, but I just, you like to keep it sometimes, so. Yeah, we're uploading the files. Okay, this is let's go back to here, raster demo, hit the run button, and here we go, it's streamed the output back to me. So that's pretty straightforward. So going back to the run workspace page, actually what I might want to do we have any published parameters here? Let's see. I don't really want those parameters. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my own parameter in there just because I want to show how these work. So I'm going to add a choice. Let's see. Food. And it's going to be a yes, simple yes, no function there. Like so. We want food, yes or no. Then I'm going to throw a tester in here and say if user parameter food equals yes, let's case insensitive just to be on the safe side. So I run that and it should pass the food through now. And if I run it again, oops. prompt and run it again. You'll see why I want to do this in a moment, because it should fail it this time. There we go, perfect. Okay, let's republish that. Back to here. What have we got? Do we want that data? Yes or no? I'm going to hit no. And we don't get the food files now. And okay, so the interesting thing here, and the thing that makes this important for what the user was asking about, is they were asking about parameters and sending information. So how do we look at something like that? Well, we can create this webhook. Is that how we do this? I'm trying to remember now. Because we need to be able to run this workspace remotely. Okay, so there's the thing, and we need I guess we need to create a token as well. So okay, let's see. So I'm going to copy, should always do this, I guess, is paste, keep a copy of this, just so we've got, excuse me, because as it says, that's the only time you'll be able to access that token. So if I don't remember what that is now, then we're in trouble. So anyway, having copied that, what I should be able to do is just paste that somewhere and go, and it'll open up like so. So it does run like that. So really all that means that we've got to do is create a HTML file that has a link in of some sort. So, I mean, that should be fairly straightforward. I mean, I can do it, I'm doing it manually, but now struggling to remember the syntax, of course. As soon as I'm trying to do this, is it like this? Ref equals, and we'll soon find out if it's right or wrong. Run workspace /a/html. Save this. I'm going to go back to that output folder I was using, and we're going to call this demo.html. New keyboard, it always sort of throws you for a loop for first few weeks or so that you're trying to use it. So there's my HTML file. See, I'm HTML a tag. How do we do this? href, not ref. Should have known that. But thankfully, you don't have to write a lot of HTML by hand these days. Okay, so there we go. We've got a link. I hit that link. It'll run the workspace. Here's my data back. And we're happy. What the user wanted to do was a little bit more than that, an interactive one. And I mean, that should be fairly straightforward, just to create a form. And I'm going to cheat. I already looked up forms and how to do them. So I'm going to leave that on there, but then I'm going to, this is a form. That's going to come after it, and then I'll post the form in there. And the form, the action is going to be, it's going to be this. So we're going to copy that link. Where are we? And I mean, there's so many different ways of doing this. This is just one way of doing this. So it's like, do you want to see food places? I'm going to call that food. So that's food all the way through. And there's the button. Have I got that right? I seem to be missing a div somewhere. Oh, okay. I think I deleted it, didn't I? There we go. Get the map. Okay, so... Okay, I can't call that food. What that's got to be, that has got to match... Yeah, I could use an FME Server app. That would be way easier, I guess. But the user was asking about creating their own HTML, so I was... let's see, what did we call that parameter? Oh, we did call it food, because I think... Yeah, okay. So I'm going to need two of these, because one of them has got to be the token. So I'm going to go uppercase food just in case it is case sensitive. Yeah, it's not often you have to write. And this one is going to be called token. Yeah, not often I write plain HTML like this, but... And the value of that is going to be yes, and the value of this is going to be my token. Like so, and I think that should do it. The point is that it will add the food and the token onto the end of this string, just as if I called it like that. So actually we don't need that on there because we are going to do that ourselves. Let's see if this works. I think it'll be a minor miracle if it does. Don't want to see food, don't want to see food places. Yes, get the map. Did it run? Yeah, oh, wow. Well, there you go, miracles happen. But that's just a way of doing a form and attaching it to an FME server thing. And what it does is, I don't know if you can see it if you hover over it. It might, no, it doesn't really tell you. But what it does, it opens up the link to FME server and it tags on anything in that form to the end of that, like the token and do you want to see food. I'm sure you wouldn't do that with the token by default, but you wouldn't ask people to enter it. But that's just, I just did it for a demo. So anyway, the whole point of that is if you want to build an interactive web page and you're creating your own web page, then you need to create a webhook for your workspace. And you can do something very straightforward like create a form and use the URL that the webhook gives you, and that'll be it. You just send that off to FME server with your input from the user. And again, I'm hoping that the person who asked this question probably knows a bit more than I do about the web side of things. So I'm hoping that they'll know what they're trying to do in the web page, and all they really needed was how to fit the server part in there. But as chat has mentioned, we could just create a server app anyway. If I go back to here, I can say create a workspace app, and that will do exactly the same thing. And I don't need to ask for the token because the token will be built into this. So yeah, so this is, oh, okay, Mark demo app. And I'm sure I can see IT's online, and I'm pretty sure you've used these quite a lot. So anyway, so there's my demo app. We just click OK. This creates as a web page automatically. I don't need to build one myself. So that's how you could do that directly in FME Server. But if you don't want to do that, you want to build your own web page, basically create a webhook, put it in your HTML wherever you put it, and put it as a form, put it as a link, do whatever you want, and click OK and click the button and it'll return it. If you want to stream it back to the page, well then there's all this stuff about webhooks. That might be a better way of doing it. In fact, I'm pretty sure there's an FME demo, webhooks demo somewhere. Yeah, definitely one on the knowledge base. Yeah, I think this one's the one. So use a webhook. Oh no, maybe that's not the one. But anyway, you should be able to create your own map using some sort of mapping application, and then use webhooks in that to pass information back and forth from FME Server, and then you're updating that map automatically without people having to do things, or when they click it, they don't have to click and run a workspace. It just sends the data through the webhook. So that will be another way to do that. So there we go. Okay, 2 questions down. Let's see what else I could find. Just wanted to cover a few questions that I saw and thought, well, that's interesting. I didn't really know that. Or I could just explain something very quickly about it. So here's a handful of questions I just wanted to sort of talk about. The CSV reader, why does it classify a column full of integers as time? As the answer says, it's trying to guess the default column type, which is good, and at the same time it's a bit of a pain because it's looking for something in an FME format of date, and it sees these numbers and thinks, that's a date or a date time, and it flags it like that. So that's a bit of a pain. But as David said in the answer, you can click in the parameters and change it manually to coordinates. So you don't have to look at the automatic FME. But I got to admit, it would be nice if it didn't do that. I suspect if your fields actually said latitude and longitude instead of X core and Y core, then we might have guessed that it was a latitude and longitude, because we can take that information from the name of the column as well, I think. So that might have helped somewhat as well. But yeah, that's just something to keep an eye on, and I probably might query that with our developers, because that really, that's really. It'd be nice if we didn't do that, but it would still be nice if we did identify dates, and I think will be very hard work to pick out what was and wasn't a date just from a number. So yeah. Anyway, I'll see what the developers can do about that. This was a question about why does the attribute expose or remove values when it exposes FME basename? I didn't realize that. If I attribute exposer, if I expose FME basename in here, I haven't tried this. Okay, there we go. It comes up with a warning now. Attribute exposer will not create any attributes even if they are specified. Instead, you should specify them on the reader feature type or the feature reader. Those attributes don't get read unless they're exposed. That's definitely a change. I'm sure it is, because I'm sure it didn't used to be like that. But there must have been a good reason for it. But it's very odd, that's for sure. But anyway, it's got to be on a reader or a writer. I suspect it's because you don't want to be passing that information through. I don't know. Like I'm sort of semi-surprised that it's not there anyway, but it's not. So we have to go to here and expose FME basename, and FME dataset, I think, is the same. And then once we've done that, now it becomes available. So now we've got FME basename and FME dataset. But yeah, so that's something just to be aware of. Why does it give me the value? There it is. Yeah, I didn't realize that until this morning. So that was a good call, whoever answered that question. And that was Jovita, my colleague at SAFE. So yeah, that was a good call. I didn't realize that at all. Interesting. See, today was a learning day. because this is something else I learned, that this weird shading on 3D models, and Matt says it's two surfaces on top of each other, or two surfaces so close to each other that it can't interpret the depth of them any differently. It can't tell which one's deeper than the other, so it sort of picks out different pixels from each surface. So I've seen that before, but I didn't realize that's what it was called, or that's why it happened. So now I know. Again, this has been a learning day, so that was a great answer there for sure. Yeah, so now I know that as well. Okay, let's see what else we had. We had the change detector question. Yeah, so this question was about change detection and how does it handle duplication, which I thought was really interesting because I don't think it actually says in the documentation how this works, and I wasn't sure either. So let's have a look at that. And it seems to me the most simple way of doing that is just to create a feature and duplicate it. How are we going to do that? I'm just going to put a junction in. Because the point was, well, what happens if there's duplicate originals and only one version of the revised? What happens with that? And I'm not going to check geometry. I'm just going to check the creation instance here. So all of those should match because they're all the same feature with the same value. But the question is, what happens? Let me zoom in a bit. What happens? Like, are we going to get... what's supposed to come out of the output? I'm not even sure. Change detect output ports. So updated is... Well, we don't have that set, so that's not an issue. Excuse me. Inserted our revised features. Deleted our original features. And unchanged our original features. So you would think that you would get two unchanged features. But I'm not sure that's what is going to happen. Right, so the unchanged has found a match. Does it flag it with a match? It doesn't do that. It might do. It might be an attribute I haven't set. But one of them is deleted as well, which I'm finding very interesting. So it's keeping one and deleting one. And I'm guessing it's because once it's used a revised feature, that's it. It can't be matched to again. So it matches with the first incoming original and then doesn't match with the second one. So we could probably prove that by throwing in another junction and adding a second revise. So we've got two of each now. Now we should get two unchanged because it's got two things to match against. So that's very interesting. And I really don't think it mentions that in the documentation, that if you get duplicates, one of them will be deleted. It won't come out of the unchanged, even if it finds a match. Well, it won't find a match. That's the point. The match has been used. It's gone. So that is interesting. I didn't realize that. Now, I might ask to get the documentation updated because, yeah, that's an obvious thing, I think. But the user was saying here about, well, how can I match the first feature in the data set? And they were having to run a sort option on there to sort the data into order by time. And I was wondering, well, okay, that works, but maybe it would be better if, I don't know, maybe a featured database joiner. So you could say, here's my original features coming in. Let me scroll that. there's my original features coming in. Let me check against whatever my database is. So I'm just going to pick a database, random, pick a table, make a join, and create a feature for each match. No. Actually, yes, create a feature for each match. So if there were multiple original features, it would pull back a join because it's matching the same way. And the advantage of that is you don't have to read it into the workspace, and it should run a bit quicker as well because you're not having to read all of the data. And it's only pulling, I think it should pull the first feature out. But even if it didn't, you could probably optimize it with a query that said, select one feature from the table ordered by date time. And that way you're only pulling one feature in anyway, even if you are sorting by date time. So that's what I was thinking for this question, because I don't know if the change detectors looks a bit odd for you. And it sounds like they've got it working. They just sort the data first. But I think you might find that for speed purposes, a different transformer might be better for that. So that was just my thought on that. Whether that's of use, I don't know. But there we go. I thought I'd mention that. Let's see what else. Oh, okay. So I've only got one more question that I wanted to cover, or it was actually asked as two questions. It was traffic analysis. How do you, if you've got a layer with traffic and a road layer, how do you connect it together? Which I think we've realized is the neighbor finder. But then how do you average the size over a given radius? Like, how do you say, well, this block of road or this 50 meters of road has got a certain speed to it? So that would be the question. So I'm just going to have a little play with that, because I got a little bit of data, because I think it's GeoJSON format actually. So in the FME data that I used to use, we've got an electric car track. Did we get anything there? That's interesting. I thought it would. No feature types. Let's try that again. Maybe it isn't GeoJSON. Maybe it's just JSON that's... But let's have a look. No. Okay, let's delete those. Maybe it's just JSON format. Weird, I'm sure I read it yesterday. Or I read it recently because parameters, schema mode, scan. Okay, let's see if we get something out of this. Okay, well, we got something. Is it spatial? That's the question. Doesn't look like it, no. So we'd have to vertex creator. Yeah, vertex creator would work. Replace with a point. X value is longitude. Y value is latitude. I guess it must just be plain JSON, not GeoJSON. And there we go. So that should give us a whole bunch of points. Not many, I mean, considering what the user's talking about. Then we've got a road network I can add, and I can't remember what format this is in. Complete roads.dwg. So AutoCAD. Group by the attribute schema, just in case there are any attributes on there we want to use. I should have put them all together, shouldn't I? That's okay. I'll just type junction and there we go. That simplifies that. So we've got our road network and we've got our points. Let's see what the road network looks like. It looks like that. So, I mean, it really depends on what the user's got, but they were talking about like 50-meter intervals. So I guess what you could do is, what do we call it now? It's not line joiner. It used to be line combiner. So we can combine the things together. Then we can chop it up into 50-meter segments if we wanted to do that by length. 50 meters. So that'll be giving us 50-meter length of road in here. Let's open up the data inspector to get a better view of this. And let's see, let's mark the coordinates. End nodes would have been enough, I guess, but okay, so I'm guessing these are all 50-meter stretches or as close as it can be. That does seem more than 50 meters, to be honest. Maybe not, maybe, yeah, 175 meters. Interesting. Yet it says chopped. Okay, let's that looks like 50-meter stretches. And if I turned on the unchopped data, yeah, so we can see, well, hopefully that's 50 meters. Yeah, 50.7, so that's just... Yeah, I was wondering if there were paths or whether it was a... I should have thrown a deaggregator in there as well, I guess, to do something like that. Anyway, we've got 50-meter paths, and we've got some data, some points. So really all we need to do is do a neighbor finder. Let's see. Finds the nearest candidate to each base and merges their attributes onto the base. So what... Let's see, which way around do we want this? Well, the roads need to be the base because it needs to get the information from the candidates. And let's see, attribute accumulation, I'm going to generate a list. I'm going to call it, is that what I want? Yes. Yeah, we don't really need to merge the attributes, we just want to create a list of them. So we're going to call this car speeds, selected attributes. I'm just going to merge the speed on there. And we're creating a list, and I don't think I'm going to get more than one. What did I set the tolerance? I didn't set anything. Okay, well that's fine. Matched base, 4,000 matched base. Okay, no, I got to set a maximum tolerance here of like 5 meters or something like that, because otherwise that's crazy. Unmatched and unmatched base. Oh, okay, so we didn't match anything? Am I in the... Oh! I bet I'm in the wrong coordinate system, aren't I? Of course, idiot. So that'd be lat long 83, say. And we'll go UTM 8310, which is UTM zone 10, which is Vancouver. There we go, 26 matched. So those are the pieces of the road that matched the point features. Oops, no, sorry, don't want those. Want those. There we go. So yeah, I don't think any one piece of road got more than 1 point attached to it, but that's not really the point there. The point is that bit of road should have some information called car speed. Car speed.speed is 41. Yeah, so we just said find anything within a 5 meter stretch, 5 meters away. Speed is 41. What we'd probably do now is use a list. Let's see. See, there's all sorts of things we can do here. We could do a list summer. So we could say, let's take that list, just in case there is more than one speed. And we'll call this, pity we can't do averages, list average. Total speed, and we'll do a list element counter. We'll just count the car speed. Yeah, okay, so number of results. Actually, we might have got that from the neighbor finder anyway, but I didn't even think about that. The expression evaluator says average speed equals total speed divided by number of results. So now we've got the average speed for that block, and we could do some sort of funky thing with that. We could say, like, let's buffer that by the average speed, and then you say, okay, it's let's see what we get with that. So what do we got for average speeds here? I just want to color it as well. Average speed is between 0 and 42. So let's see, do we have a color? Is it color range setter? Do we have that at all? I'm sure there was a range. Okay, well, let's go with a range, attribute range mapper. And the input attribute is average speed, and we'll go with speed color, and if it's from 0 to 10, then we'll go with red. If it's from 10 to 20, we'll go with, I don't know, red. What's orange? Is it red 110? And if it's 20 to 30, we'll go with blue maybe, 0. And then if it's 30 or more, then we'll say green. And those are our colors. So we just need a color setter. Or maybe I could just change it to there to be FME fill color. There we go. That should do it. There we go. So now we can see, yeah, I'm going to have to open this up again in here. Now we can see different areas of the city and how fast the traffic can move there. And unsurprisingly, where there's junctions, the speed is fairly slow. We can see we've got a sort of narrow buffer in yellow color. Green buffer means it's wider, it's green, it's going faster. Blue means it's in between. And did we get any red ones anywhere? Don't think we did. So, oh yeah, there we go. It was going really slow at that point. So that was just one car. So that's not really representative of the whole city, but that's the sort of thing we could do. This was, I think this was Dale in his Tesla driving around Vancouver, and we got the occasional points out of there. Anyway, so that, I think, answers some of these questions. Some of them around every 50 meters. Well, that's great. That's what we did. What's the other one? Yeah, that was just connecting the point line to the closest segment of the road. That's pretty much what we did there with the neighbor finder. So just to go back over this, just in case the user's looking at this and want to figure it out. These are the points that we've got for our car with the speed on them. This is our road network. This is just me prepping the road network and sort of chopping it into 50-meter lengths. You might want to do that differently, I don't know. So we do the neighbor finder. We say find all of the speeds, all of the vehicle positions within 5 meters of a road. Neighbors to find. Okay, we should probably increase that to like. Actually, we can probably just get rid of that and just say find all of the neighbors within 5 meters. Maybe that's why we didn't find any more than one for any one point. Generate a list. And then we've got a few hoops to jump through. We're going to say, well, let's add all those speeds together, find out how many speeds we recorded, and calculate the average, which is what we're doing now, the list summer. So we get the list. So we say for this stretch of street, we got this speed, and any other vehicles, it will be another, and so on. And yeah, we just sum together that list. So we create the total speed. We count how many elements are in that list. Then we carry out the division to find the average speed. And then we just do some basic stuff about setting the color and the width. So we say, well, let's set the buffer size for the average speed. So if it's going faster, the buffer's bigger. And that's just a good way to visualize this data, I think. I really like how that works. And the range mapper just lets us map the speed to the color. So we can say, hey, a red. Let's see what we got. We got yellow. That's medium speed, and it's wider. And you can see the buffers get bigger when it goes faster. And yeah, so but you don't have to do that. That's just me sort of playing around with that data, just to give it a go. Yeah, and hopefully with FME and the new, we've got that new World Tour theme. We've got the World Tour theme of race cars and speed. So hopefully, if we did that, we could we'd just see green all the way across the FME city or something like that. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up here. But anyway, that's how that works. If you want to give that a try, I'm just going to hit the run button again because I really wasn't sure then. Because I only said find the nearest one neighbor. I wonder if there's any. Are there any ones that have more than one? Number of results, 1. No. Maybe it's because I chopped it up. If I didn't chop it up into pieces, maybe one length of road will be long enough to get multiple points. But I still doubt it. But let's have a look. So we're just not. Oh, there we go. There's one. There's a length of road that had 2 positions on it. So that created an average there. So we can see on that feature that there was more than one speed. We've got car speed 0, 41. Car speed 1 is 18. So by the time we calculate the average of that, now I've got to figure out which feature it was again. Number of results. Okay, this one, for example, we should find that we've got an average speed that's slightly different to what they were, wherever it is. There we go, average speed 39.5. So that will give us slightly different results because I didn't chop it into 50-meter sections. But yeah, I guess I ended up with purple and not orange. I guess my maybe that should be not that it matters in the slightest, but 1, 0, 1. Or is it 1.5 and 0.5? Oops. 1, 0.5, 0.5. I think that might be orange. Again, who cares? It's just... No, that's still purple. What have I done with that? Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter. that was just an extra part anyway. So, and I think that's all of the questions I've got for today. I'm not sure which one I'm calling my question of the week. Maybe maybe this one. Maybe I quite like the traffic one. So maybe one of those two we'll call question of the week. Let's see. What else can we do? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for today. Actually, what I might do is just for the hell of it, because it's Friday afternoon and I've got nothing better to do, I guess. Well, I do, but I'm just going to have a go at some geoguessing. And if you want to stick around and watch me make horrible mistakes, you can do. Let me just edit the stream and say we're doing geoguessing. Oops. Because sometimes you get other people want to watch, not just FMEers. But anyway, if you watched and you're going to go now, I'm not doing FME, well then that's fine. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you another time. Don't forget we've got a presentation on Esri Reprojector next week on Tuesday. That's the 2022 sneak peek for next week. So come and watch that and see what we've done to that transformer, which I've got to say looks pretty good. Other than that, yeah, it's been good to see you. And yeah, if you want, stick around and watch me mangle some of this. Let's do the daily challenge. Okay, I haven't played this for a while, so where are we in the world today? Oh, bizarrely, I think I know this. I think we've had this before. Because this is in China, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, can I remember where in China? No. But it was on the... That's very odd. I'm sure we've had this before. Huh. Very peculiar. Okay, well, I don't think there's any point in looking because I'm never going to figure out. Well, it was obviously somewhere along the coast. I think it was on an island somewhere. Kinmen Islands? Yeah, that sounds familiar, actually. I'm going to say it's down here. Sandy Beach Park. Yeah, let's go for down here. I'm probably miles out, but... Oh, no, there you go. Huh. I was not miles out. Well, that's a pretty good start. Although, again, I'd seen that before, so... Okay, I think we're looking at Turkey here. Mengen and Kara. Well, yeah, okay. Definitely Turkey. Ankara and... I don't know how those are pronounced, but I'm going to try and find them. Maybe, just maybe, I'll get a good score today. Okay, there's Ankara. Barton, Mengen. Let's see. If I don't see anything, I'll start zooming in. And hopefully they're local places. If anyone's still watching and wants to see something, then yell out. Okay, so Ankara's towards the west. So Zonguldak, Barton, Menga. Ooh, this is annoying. So you never know when it points to the capital. I mean, it could be like, I don't know, 1,000 kilometers away. It just happens to show you that that's the direction. Okay, let's pretend it's closer. Yeah, my Turkish geography is not too great. What do we got? A minute left. Mengen, Soygen, Yozgat. Seem very exotic place names to me, but I guess anywhere sounds exotic. If you've never been there. 30 seconds and I'm still not finding anything. Boskir, no. Yubani. Quorum. 10 seconds. Okay, I'm just going to put something down for the sake of it. Woof. I just got something down in time. I was a bit out, but... Devrek. Kuka, that was one on the list. Cuba? Oh, I think it was Mengen. There we go. Okay, well... 4,000 points, I guess that's... Okay. Zonguldak on the coast. Okay, well there you go. Now I'll know next time. Huh. That looks like where that video was the other week of someone trying to do a 3-point turn in a truck. It probably isn't, but it looks like it. Oh, we've got a sign on the wall there. What's that? Relaxamento. Okay, are we thinking Brazil here? This is... I always say go downhill. But both of those roads seem to go uphill. Okay, where are we now? I don't know how people find these in such a, like 5 seconds or something ridiculous. I mean... Okay, well it's... I mean, we're up in mountainous country by the look of it. Do we think it's Brazil? Oh. We can tell I've not played in a while. Oh, is that the sea in the distance? Or big river? Okay. Well, let's... Is it somewhere in Rio? And it's very cloudy, but that's looking north. Porto Alegre? I've only got 40. Ipanema. Well, it's as good as anywhere. I really don't have much of an idea of where that is with 30 seconds left. Ah, it was Rio. Damn it. South side of Rio. Looking. No, I didn't want the map. Looking north. Huh. Well, there we go. I should have gone with my gut instinct there. Okay, where are we now? Okay, Germany. And Juggle. Oh, if only my German was better. Okay. Because sometimes I never can tell if that's the place. Murray? Is that a place name? Yeah, when you're not familiar with the language, you can never tell if it is a place name or a service they're offering. Okay, I'm not seeing many mountains or anything, so it's not too high up. What's at this junction? Not a lot. I always think people should be more... I'm not even sure if it's... I'm pretty sure it's not Austria. I'm just thinking... Oh, there we go. There's a road sign. Ah, maybe it is Switzerland, Austria. Zurich and Bâle. Okay, Zurich, Bâle. And that's number 25, and then that's the highway. Okay, so where's 25? Can I find 25 in here? $22. Okay, so if one's the highway, uh, 50 seconds. I'm thinking it's got to be somewhere between the two. Effingen, Europe. Sorry, I'm supposed to be looking for the 25. That's 24. 23. Oh, come on. It's got to be around here somewhere. 26. Oh, 25. Oh, Murray. There we go. So we are looking north. So it's got to be the south side of town. Say there. 8 seconds left. Ah, 21 meters. Woof. Woo! I like that one. Ooh, why can't we have a nice one in Canada? Okay. Well, obviously this is Poland. Kirchholm. Is that the name of a place? Let's... I would think... I want to find a road sign to find out what road number we're on. That would sure help. Okay, well, I think it's in, well, 99% sure it's in Poland. Just comes down to, can we find it? This is always the problem. Do you look for it on the map, or do you try and find more clues on the image somewhere? And again, not knowing the geography of the area or the language, I mean, it could... Kirchholm could mean something like East Poland or something. I'd never know that, so... Okay. let's... Oh, there's a road sign down there. Let's take that. Ah. There's a sign for parking. Oh, come on. It's got to be place names. Road numbers. Come on. National Botanical Gardens, is that? Okay, well, if that's... You've got to think that's in the capital or close to it. So, with only 17 seconds left, let's just put a marker down there and... oh my lord, Latvia? Okay, so when I said 99% sure it was Poland, obviously I was way out. Way out. Why is there a Polish scarf on? Well, I guess looked like a war memorial, so that's not unreasonable, I guess. I don't know. Well, that's so close to 20,000. Yeesh. Yeah, like folks who get 36 seconds to find the place, like 2 meters away in 44 seconds. Like how? Yeah, I don't know. 1.6, 285, 1100. Yeah, that third one. What was the third one? Was that? Yeah, Rio. If we'd gone for Rio, we've got an easy over 20,000 points. Well, fine. If that's the case, I am going to go and do the career and battle royale distance because that's my favorite. I like playing this one. I think I'm pretty good at it. Personally, I think that anyway. But we will find out. So this is the one where you have to pick the location and the closest, I don't know if there's 10 of us, the closest 9 go through to the next round. And you get 5 lives and extra life every round. So, I mean, I might not be able to find a place spot on like some people, but I generally have a good idea of which country it's in, and that generally helps. VI Board of Education, Fret Senator, for the real deal. Oh my lord. Crown Bay, okay. Senate, oh my lord. Well, when I said is this in the Caribbean? Sometimes it's best to go for a quick guess. Okay, see, I really don't know, and I don't know that I'm going to get any closer. When I'm close enough that I'm going to get through. That's horrible. Like me saying, oh yeah, I can always pick the right country. Okay, well, yeah, it was the Caribbean. British Virgin Islands. Something there must have given it away. I didn't spot it though, so... Okay, this looks Scandinavian. I always say go downhill, so let's go this way. It looks vaguely downhill. Heads up, I haven't guessed yet. Yeah, no kidding. Over. Okay, so not Sweden, I don't think. Because I don't think they have those O's. Yes, yeah, I'm thinking Norway. Somewhere remote-ish, but probably not that remote. Okay, again, that's close enough to get through. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I was going for more coastal. I should have thought really it looked a bit more mountain-like. Oh, heck. I'm going to say South America. Argentina, maybe? I can't see that sign. It's just two. Okay, so somebody's taking a guess. Sometimes you take an early guess and it spooks everybody else into guessing, and I do that sometimes. You've got to be careful not to do anything stupid. Having said that, time is getting on. Okay, so I'm going to put another guess down just in case I need to do something. But if I don't, I'm just going to leave it at that. Yeah, it was further south. So at least I was going in the right direction if I had to do another guess. Okay, let's see. So I'm still going through. Ooh, fires. Australia? It looks Australian to me, but what's that down there? Canslot Street? Okay, maybe Eastern Europe. Oh my, this is just... Okay, I'm going to make a guess quickly. And I'm several thousand kilometers out, so yeah, it probably is Australia. Oh, South Africa. Whew. Still somehow managed to get through. That was crazy. Okay, so how many of us? 7 of us? Son. This, I would say, is Swedish, maybe? I'm not seeing any writing at all. Like, come on, people, put flags outside your house. Yeah, okay, so they're spooking me into playing now. I'm going to go with Sweden. Norrköping. No. Uppsala. Let's guess again. Oh, closer. Let's go with Finland. Guess quick. Make it good. Oh, I'm in trouble. That's it. Norway again. Ah. Well, that was dreadful. And my rank dropped. Hate that. Hate that, hate that, hate that. Should have noticed it was coastal. Ah. I too used to have that big red halo thing on my icon. I think that means to say you're on a hot streak. Which I'm certainly not right now. What does that sign say? Jardin Inquieta. Okay. Again, I'm going to say Brazil. Somewhere. Oh, I was going to say somewhere inland, but who the hell knows? Let's just make a guess. There we go. I was 700 kilometers closer than the guy who went first. So, I mean, when there's so many people in it, really all you have to do is make a wild guess and, well, not wild guess, but try and. Yeah, there we go. Wow, guesses all over the place. It just seemed so obvious to me it was Brazil, but there you go. Huh, that looks interesting. East Europe, maybe? Or maybe South America. I'm not that I'm hedging my bet. Oh, wow. It's in English. Okay, this has got to be South Africa or somewhere around there. Yeah, red soil is very, well, it's often a bit of a giveaway. Whether it is now is another matter. Yeah. What are we on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I mean, I think. Yeah, 3 other people are 4,000 kilometers away, so I think I'm good. Oh, wow, Kenya? Not Kenya, Nigeria, sorry. Kenya. I meant Nigeria. I just seeing things in English, I just assumed it was, Thailand? Is that a Thai flag? I really should, yeah, like, is that a play? Puskesmas Warung Kondang. Oh, Indonesia. Well, yeah, just put it there in big words. Now, where might it be? Indonesia is a big place. Let's make a guess. That's a bit closer, that'll do. That's the Philippines now up there. Oh, it was further towards Jakarta. Oh, right outside Jakarta, in fact. Okay. There you go. Armed response. Okay, so we're in English. Palm trees. We're driving on the right or the left? We're driving on the left. Okay, so we're thinking Australia. At least I think we're on the left. What's that sign? Whoa, I better make a guess mark. 6,000 kilometers away? What the heck? South Africa. Huh. Wow. That was a close one. I always seem to forget South Africa. Well, not that it exists, but Okay, this is where I like to go first, just to wind other people up. But somebody beat me to it, so I'm going to say South Africa again, because what else do you do? Okay, well, there you go. I'm 3,000 kilometers closer than anyone else. I wonder if people are saying South America. But again, to me, that just looks, the soil just looks redder. It looks like Africa. Oh, I'm 5,000 kilometers away. Okay, well, maybe Kenya then. Maybe it is South America. Holy cow. Yes. Well, there we go. Took 3 guesses out of me there, but yeah, see, other people were saying Africa as well. Good job I didn't stick with Kenya. Okay, this one looks like it's probably European. Oh, maybe South American, sorry. Castro. Caribbean, maybe? Argentina. I'm going to say Argentina. Can I go that way? No, I can't. Oh, yes, I can. Okay, I'm just going to... God, time goes really quick when you start to... Where's Buenos Aires gone? There we go. Let's go. Wow, okay, so it probably is Buenos Aires because other people are within a couple of kilometers and I'm in the bay, so I can't be right. Can't be totally right. "42 kilometers. Killing me. Like, really? Well, it could be Africa, North Africa, it could be Kazakhstan or something like that. I mean, you've got so little time to... Okay, let's just make a couple of guesses quick. We'll go with Kazakhstan for the first one. 1,200 kilometers away, so maybe it's somewhere more in the Middle East, Syria. Ooh, okay, we're closer. Okay, I'm going to keep guessing because I'm... No, I'm not. I'm going to risk it. Whoa! Ah! Wow. UAE, oh, Dubai. Wow, didn't really look... Well, it didn't to me, but what do I know? I've never been there, so how would I know what Dubai looks like? Okay, so this looks Portuguese or Brazilian, and I'm saying Portuguese. Because it just looks that bit more European. It's punishing my geography here. Oh, there you go. They're 7,000 kilometers away, so I'm hopefully I'm in the right ballpark. Ah, there we go, near Lisbon. Cascais, I've been to Cascais, I've been to Sintra, been to Lisbon, but there we go, we're in the final. Is that it? Has it stopped? What's going on? Let's refresh the page. Oh, don't say my internet's gone crazy. Oh, whew. Okay, well, there you go. It was south of Lisbon. Where are we now? So we haven't had any in Britain. Come on, Jim Benson. Okay, that's Vietnamese. Ha! He's having the same idea. No. Oh, not now, he's not. Whew. Hanoi. Let's try that quick. Ha! Oh, where did the map go? Oh, no more lives. Ah! Oh, God. 17 kilometers closer, and I've got no more lives. The clock's running out. He's got 3 more goes. Oh. Man, that was brutal. But I won. Yee! And went back up to rank 97. I was at 99 and I was like, almost got to 100. I don't know if you even get 100, but... Okay, one more go and then I'm going to get back to doing some other work that I have to do. Holland Bistro. Driving on the right. Oh, are we in Belgium or the Netherlands? No, that looks more like Baltic, perhaps. Czechia. Yeah, probably. Oh, there's a map, there's a map. Finland? Let's... Yeah, I'm not going to make another guess if I don't need to. Since I read Hungary? I don't know. Oh, it could be anywhere. What's Hungary? Very last second, I'm like, that's Hungary. Well, there we go. I'm through. This looks European too. Oh, okay, Germany. Doesn't look mountainous. Well, yeah, is it Germany? Yes, it's .de on the web. Doesn't look mountainous, doesn't look flat. I mean, I'm going to say somewhere close to the French border. I mean, you just see hills in the background, so... But at the same time, it's not mountainous, so... Can't be far out. Oh, there we go. Dusseldorf, Duisburg. Ooh, I don't know where it is, but I like it. Four Seasons. Are we on like Taiwan or something like that, or Japan? Why is it all gone very... Okay, this one's gonna bug me, but let's... South Korea, maybe? I'm not gonna rush if nobody else is... Okay. Had to do it because you don't want to be last but one. Yeah, there you go. It was Japan. I should have figured, but I thought Korea was close enough. If okay, where's this? South America. Ooh. I think the one thing that helps me with this is doing OpenStreetMap and humanitarian OpenStreetMap. You get to figure out where a lot of things are, although this is just puzzling me. Oh, this is... Oh man, I got no idea. Oh. Well, hey, I'm 10,000 kilometers closer than the next person, so... Can't be that far out. Okay. Chile. There we go. Survived by the skin of my teeth because that was horrible. But as long as you survive... Okay, that's... Danger in English, it said. Looks tropical, maybe a holiday. COVID-19 program in English. Singapore. Where are we? Singapore, Singapore, Singapore. No idea, but it's probably suburby. Say there. Okay, well. Let's take another guess. Ooh. Do I really want to guess again? Yes, I do. Ho ho! It's further downtown than I realized. I was thinking suburbs, but... Well, thankfully, I got 3 guesses back for that because I'm sure needed them. Whew. Everyone realized it was Singapore. They must have all seen that same sign. Oh, here we go again. South Africa. Okay, I mean, that's all you can really do, I think, with something like this is... make an early guess and see what happens, because there's no way you can tell from a road sign. You might as well just sit here and watch, and the guy's dark skinned, so I'm thinking South Africa. I mean, he looks more African than Asian or anything, so... Wow, okay, 4,000 kilometers away, so it's not South Africa. Is it Kenya? Ivory Coast? Yes, Ivory Coast. Or Nigeria. I'm not going to guess again. There we go. Where was it? Ghana. Yeah, Ghana, right on the Togo border. Okay, so what are we down to? Down to... Is this 2? Oh, wow. Give us one in Britain, come on. Motor in Jeski, Berryaya. Oh, heck. Oh, I'm going to have to make some wild guesses here, I think. Let's go for the Philippines. See where that gets us. I've only got one guess left. Ugh. Okay, got one guess left. Better make it a good one. Let's go for Malaysia, shall we? No, it's going to be further. God, it was down there. Well, there you are. There you go. No, I went up another rank. Hey, second wasn't bad. Second was not bad. Okay, well, I think that's enough for me today. Hopefully that was interesting, fun, and the FME part was good as well. And yeah, so I'm going to call it a day. It's been a couple of hours. Hopefully you found something there to interest you in part of that stream. Yeah, I'll be back Tuesday for sure. So I will see you then, if not before.